My Africa, my dream, the land of hope and the home for the brave. I lift my hands up in the sky, hopeful of the unknown, tears in my eyes and eyeballs locked towards the sun, as I was about to say a prayer for my dear Africa. But just before I say any prayer, I took a deep breath of fresh air. It smells familiar. It's the smell of poor governance, insecurity, unemployment, corruption, crimes, minted violence, and perceived lack of opportunities. My mouth mumbled as I partially opened my lips to say a prayer for an Africa I've dreamed of. Again I paused as I asked myself, what good is a prayer without any effort? And this flashed a quote from a great man, and the quote goes like this: by him in whose hand is my soul. If one of you were to carry a bundle of firewood on his back and sell it, that would be better for him than begging a man who may or may not give him anything. See, for a second there I felt like a beggar who may or may not get what he's begging for. An onrush of guilt filled my head as I asked myself, am I changing the current situation for good, or am I adding to the problems? And just like a student who has been asked a question he knows the answer to, it felt like I took a dose of adrenaline as I was about to mention some of my efforts and contributions to lay off some of that guilt. But my mind, fully in control of itself, again tossed another question. Well, am I doing enough to see the change that I want? I took a flashback and got soaked with all the problems we're facing. I felt my heart cracked, almost as if I just received a heartbreak text from the girl of my dreams. My mouth felt heavier as I felt my eyes remove the safety button of my tear gland. Unannounced, it pulled the trigger and a warm drop of tear makes its way from my eyes through my cheeks, destined for the bare ground of Mother Africa. But just before it dropped, I slowly pulled my hands down and began to unbundle on some of the issues. Being the strongest, greed presented itself to be addressed first. See, greed has poisoned men's soul and has cascaded our heart with so much hatred for one another. A man's only concern is just himself and his family. Sometimes, nowadays, very rarely, his extended family. Gone are the good days when men offered help without being asked. We've succeeded in making this phrase, "What can I do to help?" so obsolete and have replaced it with "What's in it for me?" We only care about what we're getting and not what we're giving. And the very people saddled with the responsibilities of leading us only think of how they can steal from the average man, while the average man sits patiently, pray, and wait for his own turn to uphold the failed tradition. See, I weep because I know the gravity of this reality. It's a brutality on our whole capacity, and this is not aimed at any single nationality, but this is a fatality to all of humanity. So please tell me, where is our morality and our spirituality? I was told this will shape in our mentality and mold our personality. But instead, we served with this sad reality, a disappointing rationality. As a person, I only wonder what's in store for us, and I ask this question unsure of the answer. Only one thing comes to my mind: TIA. This is Africa. A white man's pot of gold and a black man's jar of silver. It's funny how most Africans want to leave the continent to search for greener pastures in other continents. The last statement just made me laugh, because I don't know if it's sanity or vanity, but I know only a madman will abandon his house for his neighbor's house just because his neighbor's house is better. So if we all leave, who will be left to fix the continent? A continent so rich and blessed with enormous resources and skilled manpower. Maybe that's why most white men want to exploit Africa. They call it a fortune. And most Africans want to leave Africa. I call it unfortunate. But to think of it, what are they seeing that we're not? And what is it that they know that we don't? Hence the saying, not all eyes that look up in the sky will sight the moon. But my fellow Africans, how hard is our hearing and how blurry is our vision? Our selfish interest has blurred our lenses. That all we see through our glasses is ourselves and our selfless missions. See, I'm sure I'm not speaking in tongues, so how hard is it for you to hear me? In my native tongue, we'll put it this way. Inkuneyaji, ganganjiki yazira, meaning, so long as the ear listens, then the body is safe. That this is my reality is a hard pill for me to swallow. A tasteless dinner on my plates. Yes, I do believe in fate, but the rate at which these killings escalate makes it hard for me to concentrate on the light at the end of the gate. See, this is not a debate, so don't feel the need to translate whatever I orate. Why can't we all elevate above our hate and give Africa a clean slate? I mean, it's not too late to debate on all those bad dates. So let's participate, delegate, and communicate this vision trait to all our states, so at the end of the day, we can all celebrate. I have a dream of a continent that will be greater than all the remaining continents in the world. A continent where peace and hospitality will be the order of the day. A continent that will house the best of visionary structures, and a continent that all the other continents will look up to copy its vision. I told this to my friend. He looked at me with a face full of pity, smiled and said, "It's a good thing you called it a dream." I looked at him back with a face full of hope, smiled and said, "Well, dreams do come true." So my fellow Africans, how hard could it be for this dream to become a reality? I truly ponder and wonder if our natural resources are a blessing to us or just bad fortunes to us. The likes of gold, diamond, oil, gas, uranium, platinum, copper, cobalt, iron, and vast fertile land. And these the reasons why we kill and discomfort one another. Yeah, I get the point, all of us are animals and most of us are carnivores. And if all you do is sharpen your canine teeth, then everything will look like a meat. But my fellow Africans, I urge you all to shun this bad culture. Take a seat, breathe deep of fresh air, play deaf to your ill mind and find peace on the good side. This is the voice of the voiceless, the kid made homeless and the soldier on the battlefield, crying for this dream to become a reality and change these brutalities. Please, I just hope you will let me voice out my discontented state of mind before you close the curtains on me. My dear Africans, we can all change